Hello everyone, welcome back to Timsy Naked Tarot. If you are a regular viewer, if you are new here, well, I hope you enjoy the read and think about joining the tarot team. Okay, we're doing a twin flame read, and it's if you have an Aries runner. I do it slightly differently. I do it on your person, not actually you. So I pull on the energies of your person, not actually you. You kind of know what you're dealing with, and I can't see that everyone who is a Cancer is dealing with the same sort of person, but I can see that loads of different people could be dealing with the same sort of runner. That's why I do it. Okay. Oh, that's why I do it that way. Okay, all that being said, your Aries had the Three of Swords come out for them during my All Signs overview, which is my preliminary read for all my main reads I do. And the Three of Swords is, well, it's an energy of pain and suffering. Now, they could be feeling the pain and the suffering from the separation of the twin flame cycle, but I don't think that's what it is. I feel it's more like they are suffering some sort of pain within their current life, and that's what's making them think of you. Okay, that's what's making you be more of a thing in their life at the moment. You might not know this, but that you're going to find out. Okay, anyway, so we got the sun, we got happiness, we got joy, we got security. That's at the bottom of the deck before we do the read, and we got the Two of Cups, the coming together of energy, or also known as a twin flame or a soulmate card. So basically, the twin flame, the soulmate connection, is making them feel happy, making them feel secure, making them feel safe within their pain they're going through. So, well, you're doing your job. This might be the only reason you are in a twin flame connection with this person. You might not actually ever have a physical relationship with this person ever again. But what you've had with this person, even if it's just on a soul level, is what's driving them through. It's what keeps them going. Okay? It's what stops them taking a long walk off a short beach. So let's have a look. See, we got how they're thinking about you just there. Okay, we got their feelings towards you. We got actions towards you. We got what you don't see coming out of all this. From the bottom of the deck, we'll have a potential energy outcome. We'll have a potential. There you go. It slipped out. It's an energy outcome. Okay, this is probably not going to be a physical thing between you and them. It's not going to be affecting the 3D. It's all more in the 5D. So a potential outcome for you. I say potential because we can all get in the way of these outcomes with our own free will. We might turn left when we're meant to turn right. We might decide that we're going to go to the pub instead of going straight home and miss the opportunity. Things like that. Okay, so we've all been there. We've all been there. We've all been. I do it my tarot reading all the time. I can't. I'm sort of halfway through work and I'm thinking about what tarot reads I have to do for you wonderful people on YouTube. And I get home and I decide I'm not going to do it. I'll do it in the morning. It's fine. Okay. Anyway, so here's what you're getting today. This was meant to be last night's read, but it's now this morning's read instead. Death for how they are thinking about you. Now, this doesn't mean they're not thinking about you. Okay, it doesn't mean they're thinking that you're dead. Or they're thinking that they're dead. Maybe they're thinking they wish they were dead, but they're thinking about you. This is a change in their thinking. An old way of thinking about you is dead, and a new way has come about. Okay, so for some of you, they may have been thinking about like pure sexual fantasies about you as a twin flame, but now they might be thinking about, well, wouldn't it be nice just to be holding their hand walking down that short beach I mentioned earlier? Or perhaps they're thinking about just cuddling up to you on the sofa, watching TV and falling asleep in your arms instead of all the other stuff they used to think about you. And so basically the way they think about you has changed. Okay, we've got the 10 of Swords and we have got the 5 of Cups. Yeah, so what's changed about the thinking is the separation between you and them. They want it to end. And they're thinking, wouldn't it be nice if this separation stage was all over? The loss, the loss of you. In the Five of Cups, you have 3 cups knocked over, normally 2 cups still standing, or 3 cups are broken perhaps, but there's 3 cups which are in the opposite to what 2 of them are. Okay, so the 2 cups still standing is that 2 of Cups we saw in the cup, the 2 of Cups. The 3 cups knocked over is like what's lost in life. Now, you're obviously watching a tarot read. You're probably not sitting on the sofa with your twin flame at the moment, or you haven't just got out of bed from your twin flame and thought, I'm just going to go and stick Timsy Naked Tarots on. There might be a couple of you who are out there who are my die-hard fans, who watch every video I put out every time. Thank you very much. Okay, and maybe you are sitting there with your twin flame at the moment. Maybe you're both watching it and you're thinking, isn't it so nice that we actually managed to get together and we don't have to go through all this, what he's talking about. But for the bulk of you, there is a separation. You're not with your person at the moment, and that's the 3 cups knocked over. That's something missing. It might not necessarily be about the twin flame connection, what they're missing. Maybe they're missing other things. They are thinking about you, and maybe you're reminding them of the other things they're missing. Maybe you had something with this person 5 years ago, and it was a happier time for them. Okay, and maybe they're missing that, and you're connected that way. You were connected with them because it was a happier time. The sun we saw in the car, but the Ten of Swords is bringing something to an end, or ending something, and it's a painful ending. So what they're trying to end, what they're thinking about ending, is this separation. Okay, maybe they've gone off, maybe they've had their own little family with someone else. It doesn't really matter. This is kind of thinking that the way of thinking about you has changed. Maybe they've stopped thinking about you in a romantic way, in a sexual way, in a friendship way, and it's changed to something else. So maybe they've started thinking about you in a sexual way. Maybe they've started thinking about you in a friendship way. Maybe they've started thinking about you in a romantic way. Okay, and so they want to bring the separation to an end and start this. So there is a possibility they're thinking about communicating to you, and they're thinking about opening channels to see what can be done. And what's driving all this is the Page of Pentacles. So it's a small energy driving this, because it's a page. It means it's probably less likely to happen than happen, but it's an energy of learning. This is like academical type learning from books, not learning from practicality. Okay, and trust me, there is a big difference. You can read as many books as you like about starting fires, for example, rubbing sticks together, using some sort of bow to make the stick work faster while you're pushing it down, creating friction and all that. You might have all the academic knowledge about starting a fire, but you've never actually gone out there and put it into practice. And then you find, well, actually starting a fire is a lot harder than the book actually said. So where do I find my tinder from? Where do I find my little sticks from? God, you have to rub this stick on this bit of wood for forever. So they've learned something, but they've only learned it from a theoretical point of view about you. Okay. And maybe they've learnt this through other actions, other things they've gone through, and realised that maybe a relationship is more than just one thing. Maybe a relationship is more than just talking to someone, more than just cuddling up to them on the sofa. Maybe there's the whole package, and maybe that's now what they're thinking about is the whole package with you, not just one little aspect of a relationship with you. And they're wanting to bring a little something to the table. An offering. Okay, if this was in the action part, this could be them turning up at your door with a bottle of wine or a 6-pack of beer, yeah, and just saying, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I was what I was. Here, have some beer. Think about me for a while. I'm going." Something like that. Okay, or you might just find a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or something like that, on your doorstep when you get home from work because they didn't have the courage to see it through, and they've just left a little note with it. Love Aries. Well, that could be taken different ways, couldn't it? Anyway, right, so yeah, it's punctuation. Six of Pentacles coming out for how they are feeling about you. So they're feeling about the good old days. Okay, like I said, maybe about 5 years ago, you had something, and that something was when they were full of joy, full of happiness, full of figure. Maybe they're not so much now. And they're thinking back on those good old days. They're thinking back on you. Okay? Or just by default, because this read is about you, and they're thinking back on the good old days it was when you were in them. Now, I know that some of you may be screaming at your screen at the moment saying, but I never actually been with my twin flame, Simon. I've only ever seen them once, and I just knew when I first saw them that once that was the person I was meant to be with. Well, in that case, their souls are thinking about you. Okay, their souls are feeling that tug towards you, linked to their good old days. Now, we've got the Six of Swords and the Hierophant coming out from this. Now, they're thinking about the good old days, and they're thinking about that with clarity. Or they're not. They're feeling. They feel the good old days in their feelings. So basically, they're thinking about. They're thinking about the good old days, but it makes them feel good. That Sun card that came out, the security, the warmth, the happiness, the joy, is what they're feeling when they think of the old days, the good old days, when things were easier, when politicians were honest and the youth respected their elders. Okay, but they're seeing it with clarity. They're seeing that the politicians weren't really any more honest back then than they are now. They're seeing that the youth were just as disrespectful to their elders back then than they are now. Or maybe they're seeing that they were just as disrespectful to their elders as the youth are now. But it's a clarity. It's a seeing things, well, in the sunlight, in the good weather, instead of the bad weather, instead of having a cloud over their head, instead of everything being in turmoil, everything being bad. With the Hierophant coming here, this is either they're feeling that their life is established, or they've got some sort of establishment going on. There is something established within their feelings. This could be their feelings about you. It's been there for a long time. It's established. It's taken root. This could actually be you coming out. Perhaps you come across as the sage old Hierophant. In the past, you gave them advice. You told them to do things. You were like a guru. Maybe you were there first, and you've showed them things that no one else has shown them before, or you opened their eyes. You made them look at things in a different way. With that Six of Swords coming on with this Hierophant, you gave them the clarity to see. You at least gave them the instructions and the advice and the training to see with clarity. Maybe it took them a few years to realize all this, but yeah. So it could be you coming out. You could have been like their guru, their teacher, their advisor, their best friend at some point. Okay, crossing all this, what driving their feelings is the Four of Wands. This is another card of commitment. That's a card of establishment. This is a card of a commitment. This could be marriage. This could be christenings. This could be weddings. This could be funerals. It's the celebration of life, and maybe they're feeling the celebration of life. We're in the middle of summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, and life is everywhere. The young deers and rabbits, well, they've grown a bit bigger, and well, in some cases they've started making their own little families. Not the deers, they take a bit longer, but the rabbits, yeah, the young rabbits that were born at the big, like early in the spring, they're probably now getting to the point of making their own little families and things. We've got all the flowers in bloom. We've got the trees are all green. We've got harvests coming in. Okay, so it's all that celebration of life. It is also a card of commitment. What's driving their feelings is a commitment, either a commitment to you, a commitment to someone else, or something else. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be work. It could be commitment to work. Is driving how they feel about you. The things have been said at work which have echoed what you've said in the past. And it's like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. Oh, the tarot team, oh, they were just giving me advice on how to live in the future. They weren't telling me what to do and things like that. So yeah, they're looking back at that. So actions, yeah, so I kind of said this might not happen. Okay, this might pan out for you. Yeah, you might end up with that bottle of wine or that 6-pack much later than you think, maybe autumn, winter time. Okay, because the Knight of Pentacles is an energy of taking time, preparing yourself, making sure that there's no pitfalls, making sure that things won't go wrong. This is good in a sense, because when it does happen, it's going to happen. Okay, it might take time before it happens, but it's the only knight out of the 4 knights in the tarot deck which always hits its goal. Yeah, it might not hit its goal in its time limits, but it definitely always gets the job done. All the knights are set on a mission by the kings. Okay, they're set out to do certain things. The Knight of Swords, well, they're a bit of a rushy, scatty brain. They go out, they've got this one message to tell everyone, and that's all they do. They go out, they tell everyone, but they just rush about. They don't hang around to like give advice or give the rest of the instructions they might have been told to give. They've condensed what they've been told to do to a small little thing. Okay, and they see their target, they go off after their target, and they don't think about everything what might get in the way. Now, the Knight of Wands is very similar, but with the Knight of Wands, they're a little bit flighty. They can be distracted really, really easily, especially by a pretty face. So the Knight of Wands tends not to ever actually get its job done, because it's gone off and done something else it's wanted to do. And then you've got the Knight of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups is like a dreamy energy. It goes out, it goes to do its mission. The King of Cups has sent it off somewhere to relay the love it has for someone or something. And, well, yeah, it just wanders around in a daze. And by the time it gets to where it's meant to be, it's forgotten what it's meant to do. Now, the Knight of Pentacles gets given its charge, given its mission. And the first thing it does is it sits down and makes a plan. It doesn't jump on its horse and ride off. It sits down, makes a plan, goes, okay, we're going to have to do this. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. What happens if step 3 goes wrong? Well, we'll have a step 4.2, and so on. And it moves on and on and on. It spends more time sitting there making a plan for things than actually doing things. Couples up with a 3 of Wands, something fantastic. But we haven't got a 3 of Wands coming out with this. We've got a 2 of Swords, and we have got the 10 of Cups. I'm going to clear my throat quickly and slap on my coffee, which isn't coffee, it's tea. I don't drink coffee very often. But anyway, so yes, the 10 of Cups and the 2 of Wands. So basically, they're planning about a difficult decision, a difficult choice they've got to make. This is the actions they're going to take towards you. They've got to make a choice about you. Now, this choice could be try to cut you out of my life forever, never think about you again, never see you again, and all that. Or the choice could be letting you back into their life somehow, opening the door a crack, seeing if you're still there. Having, ideally, the 10 of Cups would be having the perfect romantic relationship. Okay, but in this particular case, I feel it's just having a relationship with you on some level. It will be good. It will fill them full of joy, fill them full of happiness, fill them full of contentment, just to hear your voice again, just to have a message from you. Yeah, maybe I don't know, maybe you got the point, you realized that they weren't interested in you anymore, or you realized that they've gone off and done their own thing, and you stopped. Maybe you sent them birthday messages or Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever it was. Any little excuse you could find to try to keep that communication going, you tried. And after a couple of attempts, you realised, well, it just gets ignored. So why waste my energy doing it? Okay, so you stopped. And maybe they're thinking, I actually miss it. I miss just those 3 words, or 2 words or 5 words every few months you used to send them. And they want it back. They want the 10 of Cups. They're acting upon the 10 of Cups. Now, the difficult decision is, do I try to act upon the 10 of Cups with you, the tarot team, or do I act upon the 10 of Cups and try to create that out of what I have already? What's crossing this? What's driving this? Oh, look, another small energy, the Page of Wands. Again, it's a small energy, but it's a good energy. It's the minor arcana of the Fool in my eyes. It's taking a leap of faith. Okay, that's what the Page of Wands does. It jumps on any opportunity. It sees an opportunity. It jumps on it, and it goes, let's just ride this. Let's see where it goes. Okay, they don't think about where it might go. It's like they've jumped on a raft on a river, and they're just floating down in the current. They haven't thought about there might be rapids. They haven't thought if their raft is strong enough to handle the rapids. They definitely didn't think of the waterfall what might be at the end of the river, or the mouth of the river what opens into the sea, a tremendous amount of knots which pushes them out into the sea, and they need rescuing. They've just thought, yeah, jump on the raft and have a little ride down the river. That'd be fantastic. That'd be good. Oh, if I take a fishing rod with me, I might be able to fish while I go. Yeah, that's kind of this energy. Their thinking and their feelings are leading them to think and feel and act upon. As soon as I get an opportunity, I'm going to take it. Now, in the case of maybe getting a text message or an email off them, that opportunity would be when I write it and I don't delete it, I will hit send. Or they might have written you messages in the past and then deleted them and not hit send them. They might do one again, but they hit send without thinking. Bang, there you go. I've sent it. Oh, well, okay, let's see where it goes. Okay, that's that sort of energy. Or it could be the next time they see you in the supermarket, the pub, the gym, the wherever you may be. Okay, we're going to go for the outcome next. We're not going to see what's blocking you yet. So the outcome is the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is that separation energy again. But there's 2 energies always wrapped up in this separation energy, this loss energy. Now we got, as I mentioned the first time when we were talking about it the first time, we got the 3 cups which are knocked over, the loss of something. Okay, maybe it's the loss of a person, maybe it's a loss of a favourite food. Okay, maybe they've lost their taste for cheap, nasty wine and they've gone on to nice, expensive wine. Okay, or maybe they're just not doing alcohol at all anymore. But then there's the 2 cups still standing. There's something else, the replacement, if you will, or possibly your connection somehow. Yeah, they're feeling the loss of the connection. They look at it as you have 5 chances. Every time you meet anyone new, you have 5 chances. They've already knocked over 3 of the chances. They've ruined 3 opportunities they've had. They've still got 2 to go. Okay. So we got the High Priestess coming out with this, and we got the 4 of Swords. Okay. So the High Priestess is all about using their intuition, but it's also about secrets. Maybe there was some sort of secret about this connection between you and them. Maybe you had to keep it quiet because of a religious reason. Perhaps your name's Romeo and their name's Juliet. Okay, and your families hate each other and you kept it quiet. Could be. Okay, maybe there's religious factors involved. Maybe there's societal factors involved. Maybe you're on the wrong side of the tracks from each other. Maybe you're rich, they're poor. Maybe it's the other way around. But for whatever it was, you kept what you had between each other quiet, secret. Maybe that's what the loss is feeling. Okay, maybe you kind of miss that secretness, or maybe the secretness shouldn't have been. Maybe you should have been open from it, and that's what caused the 3 cups to be knocked down anyway. The pressures of keeping it all quiet was what caused the separation, the break, so to speak. Yeah, maybe you wanted to shout how much you felt about this person from the rooftops, and maybe they did as well, and you just didn't communicate that to each other. And the disappointment of not being able to do that was what broke the connection. But it's healed. Whatever this secret doesn't have to be kept secret anymore. Okay, and this is your potential outcome. The potential outcome is revealing the secret of how much you have felt the loss. Okay, because that will help you heal. Maybe to them, maybe to someone else. Maybe they're revealing that to someone else. Maybe they're revealing it to you. Okay, but it heals. It heals the situation. It heals the connection. It allows things to move forward again. Okay, it brings balance. The 6 of Pentacles. Okay, they start giving just as much back to this relationship as you're willing to put in, or you're giving just as much to this relationship as they're willing to put in. Okay, so if they start messaging you with how's life been going for you, you're just going to reply with how life's been going with you. You're not going to suddenly jump on the bandwagon and say, oh my God, I've missed you, I'm so glad you're chatting with me, blah 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 blah, oh I love you, come back to me, we can just pick up where we left off, and all that. You're just going to give what you're given. Okay, so when the messages start to talk about like how they feel about you, then you'll start talking about how they feel back. You'll keep it balanced. You won't rock the boat. You won't make things different. So let's see what you don't see coming. Okay, what you don't see coming is new love. Maybe young love. Yeah, maybe different love. Maybe love you never thought you would get. Okay, the Page of Cups is all about a fantasy. Maybe it's a promise of love you don't see coming. This could be coming in the form of someone else. This could be coming in the form of your twin flame. Okay, your twin flame coming back, and it's kind of like a new love, a different love. Okay, maybe it's not just all passion. Maybe there's romance mixed in with it this time, etc., etc. But it's something you never thought you were going to get. It's going against the odds. You thought the chances of this ever happening for me would be 1,000,000,000 to 1. Okay, and Judgment is a second chance. Okay, so it is possible. What you don't see coming is you don't actually see your Aquarian. No, not an Aquarian. Your Aries, your Arian coming back to you. Okay, but there is a second chance with your twin flame. That is there. It is coming. You just don't see it coming. Okay, that's why we got the Chariot coming out, and that's why I went with the Chariot. With it's against the odds. Okay, the way you see it all at the moment, it's against the odds. It's been, I don't know how many years did I say? 5 years. It's been 5 years. Okay, obviously it might be more than that for you. It might be less than that for you. It doesn't really matter. It's just a random number I picked. So it's been 5 years. You've moved on. You assume they've moved on. You assume that they've started a family. Maybe you've started a family. I don't know. But you see the chances of getting back with this person is very close to 0. But the Chariot is winning against the odds. All because it's very close to 0 doesn't mean it is 0. Okay? Just think, when you go in for medical procedures and things and surgery and stuff, and they say, yeah, well, it's a 50-50. If you're a negative sort of person, that means you've got a 1 in 2 chance of dying. Okay? But if you're a positive person, well, that's a 1 in 2 chance of surviving. Yeah? This is a 50-50. This is a lot worse than 50-50. This is probably like as I said, it's 1,000 to 1. It's 1,000,000 to 1. It's a 1,000,000,000 to 1 shot of this actually ever going anywhere, but it is going to go somewhere. It is moving. It's moving forward. You've got a second chance to move forward with your young new love coming in. Okay, let's see what's driving what you don't see coming. Conflict is driving what you don't see coming. Okay, now this might be conflict within your life. It might be conflict within their life. Hell, it might be conflict within the world. Who knows? You might live in Ukraine and you're watching this and there's a war going on there. There's the conflict. And you think, well, life's too short. I nearly got hit by a drone last week. Well, they might think life's too short. I nearly got hit with a drone last week. I'm going to tell the tarot team exactly how I feel. Okay, the conflict is driving the second chance. The conflict is driving what you don't see coming. We got love. We got the Ace of Cups crossing that. We got the Star crossing that, which is manifestations, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. We've got the Two of Cups crossing that, okay, which is the soulmate connection. And then we have got the Seven of Swords crossing this. Now this is the change we're talking about. Change of tactics, okay? And I don't know, oh God, no, we won't. Well, I'll quickly show you. We had the Temperance there. We got the Knight of Cups underneath that. And what's underneath that? Oh, the Hangman, looking at things differently. The change going on up there. But anyway, it's starting to loop, if you notice. So the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords can sometimes be an energy of deception, betrayal and all that. But it can also be an energy of changing the way you do things. So things are changing. The way things are done are changing. This is going backwards through these crossing cards. Going backwards through these 5 crossing cards make more sense than going forwards through them. So things are changing. Okay, something's changing. The way people think, the way people are doing things, the way they think, the way they do things, the way you think, the way you do things, is changed. Okay, which what has changed? Well, it's something about the twin flame connection, the Two of Cups, the coming together of energies. Okay, yeah. Which is your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, your manifestations. You probably manifested this in one way or another, or they did. Okay, remember, this is somehow linked to both of you. It's what you don't see coming. Yeah, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, your manifestations about love. Okay, but there's conflict. There's conflict going on, and there's conflict which is driving all this. The love, the conflict between the love they have for you, the hopes and the dreams and the wishes and the manifestations. There's conflict with that as well. There's conflict with the Two of Cups, the coming together of energies. There was conflict somehow connected. The first time you come together, there's going to be conflict connected. The second time you come together, this could be, as I said, any form of conflict. It doesn't have to be a personal conflict between you and them. This is a crossing card. This is a driving energy. This could be the war in Ukraine drives you together. Okay, this could be 5 years ago. Well, we're in the middle of COVID. The conflict of COVID drove you together. Okay, so this is how the crossing cards work. That's how they work. Okay, so it's more than just that one crossing card most of the time. There's normally a big chain of events which drives to a certain point. So there you go. That is your read. Hopefully it resonates. If it does resonate, that is fantastic. And please hit that thumbs up button and let me know that it resonated. And also just throw in the comments anything you want about it resonating. Now, I've got a tiny amount of you viewers who are still watching according to my stats on YouTube. Now, before you disappear off, I know this is at the end. Could you just hang around right till the end screen? See what the suggested video is. Okay, the one that comes up in the top corner there. And let me know in the comments what it is, because YouTube very kindly tells me how many people, the percentage of people who go and watch these suggested videos I put up, but they don't tell me what videos they went and watched. And it'd be interesting to see what videos it is actually posting out. Okay, all that being said, thank you very much for watching. If it didn't resonate with you, it's absolutely fine. You can give it a thumbs down, and thank you for watching as far as you have watched. I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I suggest that you do so. By doing so, you'll add your energies to the tarot team part and make reads like this resonate with you on a more personal level in future. To help you with your subscription, I will be shoving up a link just there. You can hit that and it will help you subscribe to my channel. Just here, there will be a link to a video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy watching next. Just here is going to be a link to the twin flame reads I done for Aries, or way back when near Christmas time, okay, when in Sagittarius point, because this is the new full moon in Sagittarius. It would have been the new moon in Sagittarius, round about there. I done the last ones, and just there is going to be a little space, and there's nothing there. Okay, until the next time you're watching one of my videos, you will be good out there.